women, or one is better at than another. And we're going to kind of get, the female and the male, the he said, she said, side of the input on that. And some of the things we may actually agree on, and others I might stab him in the eye. So,
I need to interject at this point that Chris is going to be so mad at me. Because I picked the wrong mode to start in.
Yeah.
And now they literally just came in, like I started recording for the podcast. Halfway through your little soliloquy there.
That's okay.
So
that's all right.
When they listen to the podcast, they're going to be like, well, what was that? You've only lost like 30 seconds. So.
Well, and if he needs me to, I can go and, when he edits, I can re-record something.
Yeah, but I don't even remember what you just said.
I don't either.
We were talking about how we'd had some conflicts of scheduling and stuff.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that the podcast.
No, just conflicts of schedule and health reasons on stuff. And
I promise I caught it early on.
And now the fact that we don't know if it'll go the full 2 hours tonight, just depending on whether I lose my voice or not, because jalapenos, I love them. They, however, do not love me the same. So, I have an allergy to them, and they like to make, my tongue and my throat swell up, so we'll see if I lose my voice or not. So,
right.
we've already nipped this with Benadryl. The downside to that is...
The only thing I'm allergic to is Benadryl.
My usual squirrel self is going to be like super squirrel on crack because of Benadryl. So I may be way out
Super
there
squirrel.
or whatever. But
like
I said,
that.
we're going to talk about, the different job roles and the sexes and things like that and go through it. So, if anybody is listening out there live or, even podcast, you can always get with us on our Facebook page. He said, she said at gpr.com.
It will help if I pull that up too.
Right. You can get, email us, or you can even, do we have a new station phone yet?
Not yet. He's still working on that.
Are we using we don't have a cell either, do we?
Well, we have a station phone, but nothing that we can tie into the board.
Right.
If they want to call the station phone, it is 765-705-4371.
Okay. But yeah, we're happy to talk to people.
Yeah. You always like talking.
We have a listener saying there are weird sounds coming over the radio. Okay, I need a description of weird sounds.
If it is popping, then it is likely what I'm hearing in my.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the popping.
The tech
in mine.
support hobbit is not here.
Yeah, well, we've had this problem, with different shows the last couple of weeks with the popping.
He gets a little nervous when I start flipping buttons and messing with stuff.
I don't blame him. I don't want you flipping buttons.
That's fixing to happen, though. Well, it's fixing to happen. Let me see if I can't.
Oh, it's just it's one of the headsets.
Well, you don't hear it in your headset?
No, I do not.
Yeah, okay.
But if it's going over the airwaves, then we need to be able to fix it. So, Chris, if you're listening, Mr. Bagginses, we need you up here to fix this popping sound, or figure it out, or let us know what to do.
He's getting my lunch.
So
he's acting like an intern at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Chris.
Got the boss man getting your lunch. I'll see how it is.
Well, it helps. Okay, wait. Here we go.
Lucky he likes us. What are you looking at?
I am trying to pull up the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
See, you always want me to do these things, and there we go.
Like I said, we're trying to get back into the role here.
It's been a minute.
Been a minute, yeah. I have a shameless plug here. Been busting really hard working on getting my business going. So
shameless plug,
right? Where I do a lot of sewing, but I also do other crafts and stuff. I do cosplay outfits. I do anything from stuffed animals, quilts, cosplay, you name it. I sew it. Diamond art kits, things like that. So it's nanandrosiesgarden.com. Mm-hmm. So we're on Facebook as well. I have it on Etsy and all that. Haha, got it in there. So whether he deletes it out for the podcast, I don't know.
He can't. It's too tied into everything else. It'll be fine.
But
we'll shamelessly plug it more once we have everything completely up and going.
All right. So
your Etsy store is open right now.
Yes. Which is still the Nan and Rosie's Garden. So, which is NAN and Rosie's ROSIES Garden, of course, .com. Or at Etsy or whatever it is. Or you just go to the Etsy site and type that in. Yeah. So, but it's all up and running, so it's all getting quite real at the moment. But just in time for Christmas, because I do love being the Christmas elf.
Right.
But did you get everything figured out as far as times, like when you take breaks and all that, since we don't have our little magic clock?
I'm just watching the clock because I don't know where his clock is hiding that he always puts up over here. Okay. And I've got the Facebook page up over here anyway, so
okay.
We're just going to
wing it.
Yeah, this is totally by the seat of our pants.
You're going to have to let me know because I'm not paying attention.
We're looking at...
It's already on, bud. We're talking now.
We're looking at probably Yeah, we'll give it another minute. So
Okay.
If you wanna...
He says it sounds like a pop gun on crack.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It is the exact same thing, I guarantee, that I'm
Okay.
hearing in his head.
It's happened before. All right, we'll see if we can't get that looked at and get him to...
There it is.
What was it?
I had the wrong slider up. That was completely my fault.
Oh, shame on you.
Because when I pushed the slider up to bring in the cart wall, I hit the yellow slider for effects, too. And the effects isn't tied in.
It's not tied in. Yeah.
Like doing a little...
Okay, well, let us know if that made it better.
I'm sure that made it better.
Probably,
I'm positive
but
that was totally my fault.
because it was what was popping in your ear.
Yep, it's the same thing.
Way to go, Stafford.
Well,
it happens. Yeah, I'm over there. There's no way I could run that board tonight. I'm already like, squirrel, everything to do. Yeah, no, not doing it. Not doing it. Don't wanna. So, all right. Well, with that being in there, let's go ahead and kind of go into our first break. I'm gonna play some lovely music that I picked out myself. Hope you enjoy it.
And we'll be back right after this.
Alright guys, welcome back. Here we took ourselves a little break to, pick some music we want to play on the next one. I hope you guys enjoy the music. These are, all my fault. You can blame me or thank me, whichever the case may be. My moods differ from day to day. So, what we're talking about today is professions, jobs, and the sexes. I guess this is, it's one of those battles that's, old as time. Should women do this job or not? Should men do this job or not? All of the sexism and stereotypes and, of different, different professions. Like, off the top of my head, just a few we can think of. Construction work, truck driving, nursing, flight attendants, things like that, where it's, or, hairstylist, different things. Like, it should be this or should be that. And the things are, thankfully, in this day and age, changing and, a little bit more cohesive. We do have a long way to go on some, but, we'll get there eventually. I mean, seeing the strides that we've taken in the last, couple decades, I mean, it'll happen. Don't know when, but hopefully before too awful long. But I do appreciate the way things are coming together as far as, you know what, when you dream as a kid, you don't dream of, I want to be this because that's what girls do or because boys do. It's, I want to do this because I want to do this, and so now you can pick what you want to do, and it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you can do it, barring, like, Olympic teams. Like, you can't try out for the women's Olympic team, if you have a penis. I'm just sorry, but that's just how it is, at least now, because of, physical attributes. But when it comes to other jobs, like, let's just say this way, which he's kind of ignoring me because he's trying to plug in music for the next break. So.
No, I'm listening to you.
But you're going to have to help carry out because I can feel my voice starting to wear down.
So what you're saying is it going to get quieter?
I don't know if it'll get quieter. It just might sound weird. But for the construction workers, what do you think of predominantly when someone says construction workers?
Men.
Right. But there are so many women out there that I've done construction.
There are? I haven't seen any.
I've done construction. I've done cement work. I've done all that stuff.
Okay, so you worked for a construction company then? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I never see them.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, you rarely, if ever, But I think in the cities like New York and stuff like that, you do see them more.
Probably.
Just because you have construction constantly
right.
in places like that, so you're bound to. But where we are, little bitty, small town USA, you're not going to see even a lot of construction workers, let alone women.
Right. Well, the construction workers you see, you're going to see all men, just like the majority of the nurses you see around here are all going to be women.
Well, but I nursed for, a couple decades, so I saw plenty of men there. But you're right. It was...
When people think of construction
50 to 1, basically.
When people think of construction workers, they think of men. When they think of nurses, they think of women. When they think of administrative assistants, they think of women. When they think of secretaries, they think of women.
And that's what I'm getting to. It's like, yeah, they think of that, but hopefully that's going to be changing because there are so many, or if you see a male nurse, it's automatically he's gay, which is not the case.
Right.
I've worked with some very very manly, like I got my Harley, I work at the gym, dudes with wives and kids and everything else.
Well,
but
that's how they can afford the Harleys, is they work for
but they're very passionate about being a nurse.
Right.
Just because you are a man doesn't mean you can't be a healer. I mean, look at Indians and all this, the shamans, the healers. They were men.
Yeah.
They can be healers.
Yeah.
So
women are better at it, but yeah.
I'm just saying it's...
Well, women are just naturally attuned to that kind of thing.
Right, some.
Men are... Well, yeah.
See, because that's where we're going to get into it. I don't think you're naturally attuned.
No,
I don't.
men are naturally attuned to whipping on something, and women are naturally attuned to healing something.
I don't think so. I think that's more of a learned thing. I think that's more of a, this is what my dad taught me that his dad taught him.
I guess it comes in there, but I think just, it naturally one side or the other. I mean, not saying that a salmon can't swim upstream, but...
See, that's just that. This is where we're going to differ on the he said, she said, and that's fine. We can, but I'm just saying, I don't
Eventually
think
I'll win because your voice will wear out.
No.
Yeah.
I will always have the last say, no matter. I'll figure it out. But, I don't think it's born in. I think it's how a person was raised. Because the same person could be raised, in an all-male family. Right. Predominant, and another one could be raised in, single mom household, females, all this. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be raised, and they're going to come out different. It's not going to be, men are born to say, let's go do a man job. Let's go do some lifting and brute force. But the women, let's go be delicate. That's taught. That's not.
Well,
it's not.
I don't know.
It's not. You could say, I don't know all you want.
But
it doesn't change it.
Okay, then you want to say it's taught. All right. It's taught at home, and if it wasn't naturally attuned one way or the other, then why, when you think of a construction worker, do you automatically think of a man? Why, when you think of a nurse, do you automatically think of a woman?
Because it's what we're taught.
It's because that's what the field is dominated by.
Because that's what
they gravitate to, because that's the essence of their nature.
No, it's because what was told to people back in the day is, you're a guy, this is the job you do, this is a girl, this is what you can do.
No, what was taught to a guy back in the day was, you're a man, go out and take care of your family.
But it was.
However you can.
But it was doing a very physical job. Do it.
Not all the time. Because
you can be a nurse, or you can be a secretary, or you can go cut hair.
Is Donald Trump a construction worker? No, he's taking care of his family. Well, I mean, before being the president, by being a businessman. When you think of a business person, you don't think that's... you look at like Mad Men or whatever the hell that thing is. Predominantly men up until the 60s, and now when you think of a business person, you don't necessarily think of man or woman, because it could be either. Yeah. That's probably the one job that is the most intermingled in that aspect of it. Because men can be good merchants, women can be good merchants.
Right, but still, when you think about it, it's predominantly men. It's more men than women.
Now that you can blame on like TV shows, because the man used to go to work in a suit and tie and come home, but same, man go to work, wearing a hard hat and come home. Fred Flintstone worked construction. Mm-hmm. What was his name?
He worked in the quarry.
What was
Barney?
No, Cleaver. What was the dad's name? Beaver's dad.
Oh, Ward.
Yeah, Ward. Ward went somewhere where he wore a suit and tie. Mm-hmm. So it's just taking care of your family however you can. Right,
but you just contradicted yourself, because you said men are born with the jobs of let's go be more physical. And then you said,
I didn't say they were
but
born.
Then there's this to take care of your family.
I think they're more...
We're going to have to listen to his comments in the show.
No, listen, no. I said they're more tuned to do something a little bit more physical. When you broke it down as like, construction worker or nurse, I broke it down that they're more physical than to go and do the healing side of it. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying that men are always going to go do something more physical.
I love your backpedaling. I'm just going to say...
I'm not backpedaling. No, I'm explaining what I'd said.
It's fun to watch.
No, I'm not backpedaling.
It's glorious to behold. But, like I said... I'm
going to turn to the Facebook and hope somebody's going to jump in here and know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, here's the thing, though. We normally agree on so much stuff. This is good. Because we're getting the both sides of it. Okay, and honestly, I get where you're coming from too, because that's where I was putting it. It's like the belief is, and the years past is, when it comes to a physical job, most people are still in the 50s mindset of, well, the little woman doesn't need to do that. We'll send the big boys out to do that. You know what I mean?
Well,
and that's what people
look
at.
Back in the 50s, one income could take care of a family too.
But, and that's just the way it was looked at. That's why I'm saying it's more of a taught thing. It's more of a, this is how your thought process works. This is how we were raised as to, even in our generation, for the most part, like my dad worked and my mom didn't have to, and he had a good enough job that, we weren't, wealthy by any means. We weren't even, we were still lower class, but we did okay. It wasn't the fact that, the little woman, didn't work or whatever. She had enough to do raising 3 obnoxious children.
And keeping the house clean, yeah.
Right. And well, keeping us from burning it down.
Right, that too.
Which, but, that's one of the hardest jobs ever. But, then, like I said, in with nursing. Oh, well, that's mostly women because they're maternal. I get that. And
I don't think it's a maternal thing. I think it just,
most women are fixers.
Right.
We are. Some women aren't. There are some women that are like, nope, don't even think so. And all that. But there are some men who are fixers. They have a capacity to heal. Not really fixers, but healer. They see a need, they want to fill it. Because it's that taking care of someone aspect of it, where you went back to, the men want to take care of their family. They want to get and do what they got to do. I think it's a take care of an aspect, like it's of people who can't take care of themselves. Elderly, children, something like that. If there's a need, they want to fill it.
Okay.
So that might, but I don't think that, it's fair to say, a man, is a nurse, so therefore he's gay, or a woman does construction, so she's a lesbian. And those are the misconceptions that are still out there today, even in the society that we live in, where we're leaps and bounds. We're coming a long way into, getting our minds out of this little bitty box that we've had them in.
Right.
So, hopefully, like I said, that keeps happening. I want it to, every little kid to wake up, whether they're a boy or girl, to say, you know what, I want to be a prince or a princess, or I want to be a singer, I want to be an actor, I want to be, a ballerina, and it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
I think you need to be able to have your dreams and do it, no matter what you were born with.
Right.
I think it's, what's in your heart, that should really, really, really matter.
Yeah.
So hopefully we stay progressive that way, but as far as other things like that, do you think that there is and I'm asking, I want an honest answer, do you think there is a job out there that should be let's start with this one first, that should be done by a man and not a woman, and if so, why?
Yes.
Okay.
Corrections.
Okay.
Now
is this in men's corrections or women's corrections? I'm asking.
Let me finish it, because that's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm not saying women can't be correctional officers.
Right.
But what I'm going to say is, for an all-male institution, you need men. For an all-female institution, you need women. That's it. It needs to be segregated, cut and dry, just like that. Now,
I agree.
I have witnessed the power of, the calming voice of a woman bring somebody down when they were getting ready to fight.
Right.
That is not counterbalanced by the amount of trafficking and other stupid shit that goes on in those places.
Right.
Okay? That being said, yes, this is an example where men for men and women for women, no exceptions.
Right. And I agree with you, but this is why. Because you did not say only men for all across the board. You said men for the men and women for the women, and I agree. Because of, like you said, the trafficking.
You're going to argue the very basis semantics, aren't you?
No. I'm saying because you said of the trafficking and stuff. Right. Not only with other stuff, it's like sexual favors and, this other stuff. And I think, honestly, that in an all-male prison, a female guard is putting herself at risk. Mm-hmm. Because you're the first one they're going to go after.
Yeah.
The first one. Not only because you're a woman, because they see you as weaker. They see you, as leverage, and they know that, physically they can more than likely overpower you unless you are, MMA championship fighter.
No,
you know what I
mean?
Matter.
What it boils down to in those
it's
places
like on the pride, they will pick out the one and go for it.
Well, see, it's I've long had this argument for women in female prisons and only men in male prisons.
Right.
Because you take, in a male institution, you take the biggest, nastiest, fattest, ugliest broad you can find, slap her in a uniform and put her in that place, and they're going to treat her like a goddamn queen.
Yep.
And they're going to do nothing but coo in her ear until they break her to get her to do what they want. That's it.
Yeah.
And the same's true in a women's institution.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I'm going to say with the women's. If you have a male guard...
Yep.
They're in jail because they're not the most honest people in the world. They're going to figure it out.
They ain't there for singing too loud in choir.
No. they're going to figure some stuff out. They're going to get what they want. And I think it's easier if you've got women guards. They'll just be like, whatever, Nancy, go put it away.
I could walk into a new employee, or I could walk into a new officer orientation class, stand in there for 2 minutes, and tell you exactly who was going to be there in 6 months, who was going to be there in a year, and what they were going to be thrown out for. And I was never wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, I do have to agree, and people get mad at me if they want, but I do think that in a male institution, it needs to be all male staff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people are going to argue, well, you do have your gay inmates that see themselves as women and all that, but they don't have a separate part of them in the prison. There's no separate section, right. Unless it's at ADSEG, but there's no separate section just for those. So that would be the only place where you would have a woman, who they think like, you may not look the same, but you think the same. There's not you wouldn't be able to keep those women guards just to that section. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the thing about that is the great state of Indiana goes by whatever you got south of the belt line is what your gender is.
But, and I think it, and the women in the women's prison is because, like I said, they can try their coup and their let's be a little manipulative and stuff like that. And that female guard's going to go, you ain't doing nothing. I haven't done myself. Take it back to your cell.
Right.
Whereas a man would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Come tell me about it. Women would be like, bye.
Right.
And same as the men in the men's prison. Mm-hmm. Whereas women would be like, oh, tell me about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can calm you down. Let's see that men's going to be like, just go. Go. You know the rules. You broke them. Your fault. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way it should be. You're in prison. You're not there to be coddled. Like you said, you're not there for singing too loud and choir.
Right.
If you're in the prison, you did something big to put yourself there.
This is not hug a thug.
No.
Get the fuck on.
Right. So that I do agree. I do agree on that one. Like I said, simply because you said and you differentiated not just men across the board, but men for the men, women for the women. And that's where I was going to get to, was I was going to ask you, if you didn't say it, well, what about the women's prison? I honestly, personally, do not think there should be male guards, because you do have things of strip searches. You do have things of all this other stuff, and I don't think that anyone should have to be
subjected. It's the policy of the Department of Corrections that when it comes to women inmates, only women officers do the strip searches, just like women do not work booty duty for the male institutions.
Now, if they could only do that for jails.
They should only be doing that for jails.
They're not. I watched...
That's a lawsuit.
Yeah. Well, I watched it at... I won't say on the air.
Well, that's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah.
And I read an article...
That's a lot of money coming to somebody that they fuck up and do that.
I read an article where it was a woman that, took the woman in there to change. And she, I guess, apparently wasn't wearing a brassiere. And they didn't have the shirt for her, and so instead of the female guard leaving her by herself to go get a shirt, she walked this woman out in front of the other officers and other hold tanks without a top, and wouldn't let her cover herself. Every time she'd go to cross her arms, she'd smack her arms. And she'd start giggling. I was so offended and just sick.
Who reported that, though? Was that something that was reported by the woman, or something that another inmate or another offender reported? Or
it was reported by the woman. And it was
they
backed
had video
up.
Evidence?
Yeah, it was backed up because
okay.
they
well,
had
if they got video
evidence.
Okay. If they didn't, I'd say she'd want to.
Because the department was trying to backpedal and everything else because they knew what's coming. But that's what I'm saying. It's like they should make sure that I know it's supposed to happen, but it doesn't always, because you don't always have male and female on there, which I think they should have. You should always have, a female officer on duty. And it shouldn't be, because where we are, our area, we have 2 different buildings. You shouldn't have to have one walk from the other building over just because you have a female inmate or, somebody coming in. It's ridiculous. Like, you should have both every shift.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're supposed to.
Yeah, well, supposed to. It doesn't always happen.
Right.
Because they get away with it by saying, well, one can come over from the other building. As busy as that place is, no.
Yeah.
I've been a guest at one of those lovely establishments for a couple hours, and that was enough.
You don't want to get me started about the prison system.
All right, well then next, and we've been through the main one that we teased about, which was the nursing and the construction, and then we went through, the prison. So I've been trying to think if there's one that, because I put you on the spot, I've been trying to think if there's one that I think should be just a man or just a woman, and I don't know. To me, and I know this is weird because I had a male, but gynecologists. Now, I know that all doctors are supposed to have, like, you know, up here, but I think you're going to come into less lawsuits, less accusations and things if it's a woman with a woman. The woman also, you know what's supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, you feel more comfortable and all that. But, I don't know. It's just, especially for, you know, these young teenage girls that it's their first visit and they're already scared to death. Don't know what's going on, and here you have to get naked in front of a grown-ass man that all your life you're told not to do because you don't know this person. Just because he's got doctor by his name, as the world has proven, doesn't mean they're a stellar individual. But I do think that there are some doctors and things that need to be, just like if it's, you know, for men's sexual health, let's put it that way. I think it needs to be a man. I think that it makes it easier to open up. I think it makes it, you know, easier.
You'd think that.
You know, I don't know. I do. I don't know. Call me weird. Well.
Uncle Big Knuckle.
Yeah. No thanks.
I don't know. I would think that gynecology would be a great field for, you know, like a gay man being.
Yeah.
Because he's got that, you know, more
womanly.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but you know what I mean. You know, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it needs to be women. I do. Not even a gay man. I think it would put a woman at ease with a woman. You're going to be more comfortable. You're going to be more open about talking about things, you know. Nothing quite as embarrassing as having a man come to you and be like, oh, looking at you like you're a dirty slut even though you're married because you got an STD, you know.
I'd rather have a female doctor anyway. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, I loved my doctor, and he's, you know, saved my life and my baby's life and all that,
well,
which is
when
great.
you get older, you got to have, you know, certain checks done, and they got smaller fingers.
Right. Right, you said Captain Big Knuckle? Is that what you called him?
Uncle Big Knuckle.
Yeah, there you go.
No thanks.
It's just a little whoop whoop. It's like, buy me dinner or something first down. But yeah, guys aren't the only ones that have to have all that done. Trust me. It is no fun, no matter what sex you are. You're like, well, that was a little invasive, and you did not even buy me a drink or dinner first. So, I mean, to get that kind of action, that's going to cost you, okay? Right. Instead, I paid you to do it to me. Like, something is wrong with that. It's just, it's backwards.
I feel dirty now.
Right? Like, I paid you to do this to me. Like, that's not okay. But, you know, other than that, I mean, I am a firm believer that, you know, I don't care what sex you are. If the job is what you want and it's what makes you happy, and you can do it. Like, right. I don't want someone being out there that's, I just want to do this and all that, but you're incompetent because you literally physically can't do it. You know? I can do a lot of things. I can run a jackhammer with the rest of them. But I'm not going to be able to go out there. I can. 90-pound jackhammer. I can't say I wasn't feeling it in my damn teeth, but doing that. But I'm not going to be the one out there lifting, you know, 200 and 300 pound beams.
Right.
Because I physically could not do it.
Yeah.
And if that's going to put people's lives in danger, then I would not be mad at someone for saying, we can't hire you for this job because you physically can't do it. That doesn't mean I'd be like, oh, right. You didn't hire me because I'm a woman.
Yeah, you wouldn't be upset about that.
No.
But, you know,
a lot of
everybody
people
else
would be.
and they'd go ahead and sue. That's why they don't do it. They're like, well, we just need a warm body.
All right.
So.
Or, well, you're the one that applied. No, if it's going to put people's lives at danger, or even my crew members, you know, teammates, coworkers in danger, no. Like, tell me. If this is going to endanger, but then I'm a different breed of person, you know. I'm not going to get butthurt over that kind of shit. Now, if someone gets chosen over me and I'm more qualified, yes, I'm going to get upset. But.
Oh, I feel a women in combat talk coming on.
Why?
Well.
I think women are just as good in the military as men.
You know what? When we come back from this break, we'll talk about that.
All right. That'll be the first thing we come back to.
We're gonna have to take a break on that note because you don't want to get me started yet.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, no, you don't. All right. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, welcome back. Here we are, just in time to get into another friendly-like argument, you know. But we've been talking about jobs, professions, and the sexes, and all that fun stuff. And we've actually, you know, for the first time, come into something that we really kind of butted heads on, and but we could still see the other person's perspective. It just didn't mean that we were going to agree with it. So that's good times and fun. So what we're going to talk about now is the military and men and women, since he brought that up before.
Well, I was going to bring that up because it kind of falls in line. I think where I was going to go with that was where you were afraid I was going to go with the corrections thing, because I'm going to apply this to police officers too, because it is my understanding that women in the military, as far as on the front, because the front lines, probably not the best place for them.
Why?
That's my personal opinion. Okay, I'm not saying they don't have any right to be there, mind you, but it is what I've been told is that they're found distracting because people they worry about them. You get a bunch of guys. It's not that they don't accept them, but you get a woman on the front line and they're more worried about protecting them than doing their job. And
see, I think that's where things need to change. They shouldn't be worried about, I need to protect you. They need to be, you've been through the same training, you've been through the same everything. It's an equal.
Right. Okay.
It should be. It should be. I'm not saying it is.
I'm just telling you how.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it should be. It should be.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No one should be protected any more than any other. I think you should protect the woman the same as you would protect.
Real women are fucking geared.
A
real man's going to try to protect a woman.
You should protect them as much as you protect your brother in the military.
That's fine, but it's hardwired since caveman days. Try to protect the women. Try to protect the women and the kids. Except for some of these douchebags walking around here ain't worth a pot to piss in.
Well, and I think where I'm getting at too is I think not that they shouldn't protect. I think that they should as aggressively protect the man standing next to them as the woman, because they both could save your life.
Right.
That's where I'm saying. I'm not saying they shouldn't protect, because you should protect. If you are a brother in arms, your life is on the line with these people every single day. You should protect them. You should. I don't care. And if I was a woman in the military front line, I would protect the other women beside me just as much as I would the other men. To me, it would be across the board. And I understand that some people are just geared different ways. But I don't think, and I don't think you were getting at this, but I don't think they should hold it against someone. I don't think they should begrudge someone for doing the career that they chose.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Because there's still plenty of men out there that believe that women don't need to be in military.
No, that's not what I was getting with that.
I know.
But in more to the aspect of it, like with the female police officers, what I've seen a lot of women that, and I guess they do have something to prove, but they don't have to come across like, they come in like they have something to prove.
Right.
Like they got to prove it. You
just come in and do your job.
You come in and done the same thing, but it's just they also call it a brotherhood, and people, I know it happened in corrections. You tend to look out for the women more than you look out for the men. Because we ought to be able to handle ourselves.
On the flip side of that too, with women in the military. Take the Navy, for instance, and when you go on these 6 to 8 months in a submarine, things like that, or on the boats and the subs and all that, the men's perspective of it was, well, you have a woman on here, they run the risk of the rape and this and the other. No, why don't you tell all the men in there to behave themselves and keep it in their damn pants?
Well, for that matter, if you want to talk about the front lines, that's what women run the risk of on the front lines.
Well, from the other countries, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from the other. I'm not talking
about
it.
Especially when you're, in certain countries.
Right.
Where they do not consider women on the same level at all. And if a woman gets taken prisoner of war, they're going to get treated much worse than any men would. Simply because they can, and they know that it will outrage the Americans.
Right.
Just push you past pissed. To where you're like, okay, well, here comes a bomb. Thank you for that. But, my thing is, even leaving other countries out, even when you're just serving and it's not wartime, we're stateside, whatever, you're still going to be out in the ships doing your whatever you got to do in your trainings and all this other stuff. And you're going to be gone for months at a time. And basic training and every military branch that we have, you're going to have points where it's going to be, a long stretch of time. It doesn't mean that, there's a woman there, so, all the guys, we're going to be fine now. No, it means mind your damn manners.
Right.
You should be held to a higher accountability because you are our military. You are one of our elite. You're the one that we brag about because predominantly you are what the rest of the world gets to see of our great country. So act like it. Stop getting all this stuff on the news about that, or the gay bashing and all this other stuff that happens in the military. But that's just a whole nother subject that I'm not going to go on a tangent about because I don't want my blood pressure to rise. So, it just basically that one just falls along. And if anybody that's listening knows me, you know my philosophy on life, and it is just simply this: don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Because if you're not a dick to me, I won't be a dick to you. But if you are a dick to me, I'm going to be a dick to you. It's just going to happen. So don't be a dick. In fact, I said that when we were in Tennessee on vacation. We were getting ready to get on the go-karts, and the guy was going over all these rules. Don't bump, don't hit, don't run somebody over, don't intentionally hurt somebody. And I just looked at him, it's like, so basically what you're just saying is, don't be a dick. And he goes, yes, I'm just going to use that for the rest of the day. You win the prize. I'm like, what's the prize? Like, I already paid to get in, so what's my prize?
Right.
Like, but he just thought it was funny because all I said was, like, that's just my philosophy. Like, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Right.
Simple. If you follow those rules, you're going to get along in life well. Now, there are some times where you have to be. Like, I'm fixing to be with a certain school. I'm fixing to be the biggest dick ever.
Why? What's going on with the school?
Oh, I'm not going to go on it over here.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll tell me about
That'll be a side story.
Okay. Oh, I'm breaking shit.
Because it doesn't fit in with our, topic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's the transition from public school to online schooling, that the public school is being dicks. They're refusing to let my son go to a dance at that school with one of his best friends that goes to that school because, well, you don't go to school here anymore, even though there are other students from other schools going.
You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
Oh, they already did. Because now they're threatening, since they don't have proof that he's in online school, they want to call DCS. And they called my ex-husband to tell him, did not call me. When he's not even on the contact list. I don't know what you did, but everything went away. There it went.
I fixed it.
Okay. So yeah, that was a lovely goose egg last night. Got that.
Then
one.
how do you know it really happened?
Huh?
How do you know it happened?
Because I talked to the lady at the school this morning.
Okay.
And Shenandoah is the one that told us that they told her that, because she brought the money and I gave her the money to buy him a ticket, and she had to tell him that they said you're not allowed to come.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that off the air.
Yeah.
Because I know how to handle that.
Yeah. That's, I am pretty livid at the moment. But you know what? I said, well, let them do what they got to do. I have the paperwork. I have what I need to know. But we'll get back onto our subject. But I figured I'd just throw that out there in case anyone has any advice on that. Without getting personal or names or, any of that stuff.
Even though we already have.
Right. Well, no. Not all. Not the names that would get anyone in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's a whole other matter. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm all for women in the military. I am. But I don't. I'm not in the military, so I don't know all of the.
Oh, okay. I'm not coming down on it. I didn't want to make it like the military women on military.
No. What I'm saying
I just wanted to get a couple of things out there that are
I'm not in the military, so I don't
points.
know what all of the different jobs and classifications are. So I can't say, well, maybe, just like with the construction.
Well, they can be nurses.
I know you're going to get stabbed in about 2 seconds.
We need to get this business done quickly.
Oh, it will be. You'll have 2 seconds. That's pretty quick. Hope you choke on that French fry.
Is this your command?
Yes.
Your grace?
You'll be fine.
Voice it's stretching right now. So
that's all right. We're going to take another long break here in a little bit too. Here in a couple of minutes.
That's all right. But yeah,
we're just taking long breaks to give your throat a chance to.
Well, that and play a little bit more music and stuff like that. Because I like to hear the music. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
You'll be fine.
Well, at least it's from my playlist. So.
Yes, it is.
All right then.
That Blood My Mind had downloaded.
Yeah, it's all right.
It is out of your folder.
But yeah, I will. We'll get back on that. But I don't know. I mean, what? I'm trying to think about the ones that we mentioned earlier that we haven't talked about. I mean, we've gone through military, we've gone through construction, nursing.
When you think of scientist, what do you think? Male or female?
Both.
Right.
I do. I mean, I seriously do.
Right. No, and I'm with you on that. Let's say aerospace engineer.
Predominantly men. You see,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
But
here's the problem: the only aerospace engineer I've personally met is a woman.
Right.
So right now, she's leading the edge on her field because she's the only one I met. I've heard the title.
Right.
I would assume it'd be more men.
Well,
Never
I haven't
one.
met them, so all I see is on TV.
They're like baby pigeons. They're
Right.
legendary. You know, you've never seen one.
Right. Well, like I said, I don't know any personally, so all I've seen is like on TV. And you look at the movies with NASA and you know the aeronauticals and all that. It's predominantly men.
Yeah, with pocket
even now,
protectors and shit.
Even now, you know. I love the fact that there are more women now, but I think maybe too it might be a job that a woman just doesn't want.
Right.
Like I don't like to sit in an office like that setting all day staring at a screen, you know, and have that much writing on it.
And they made a movie. I want to say it was called Math or something like that.
Was the women in there with
I don't know what the nomenclature is now. I'm just going to say black women because I get yelled at for using different things that I thought were all right. So I'm just going to say black women that were helping with like the calculus or.
They didn't help. They solved it. They saved lives.
You know what I mean. Yeah, they done a movie. I never saw it, but heard it was good.
Yeah, and it based on historical fact.
Yeah.
And I like that. But yeah, I like the fact, you know, and that was really one of those, like I was talking about, that turning of events that, you know, women can do this. Right. You know, we're not simpletons that, you know, stay home and raise babies and wash the laundry. Right. We can come in and we can solve better math equations than men. You know, we can do this, we can do that. And maybe not better, but we can do it just as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying men or women are better at it, but we can do it just as well.
Right.
You know, you can be on the same level and not have to think, you know, I have to work that much harder just to be better. You don't have to be better. Mm-hmm. It's at least not in my mind. My mind isn't a race of I need to be better than all the men. No, I need to be the best I can be.
Right.
You know, it took me a long time to realize that I don't have to be as good as anyone else. I just have to be as good as I want or need to be.
Just have to be the best you.
And once I accepted that, my life got a whole lot easier, and I got better at the stuff I would do. You know? So there's that. I mean, it was just there because I think it took a lot of pressure off of myself, and no one else was putting that pressure on me but me.
Right.
And once I realized that I was, you know, thinking about it all wrong, and it's like, no, I should only compete with myself. Mm-hmm. You know, I only should do better than my best record.
Right.
And that helped a lot. But that should be the way it is on every job, I guess, other than, you know, athletics and sports, because you're supposed to be, you know, constantly trying to be the best.
Right.
But that's like Olympic shit, and that's not even. I don't know would you call it a profession? Being an Olympian?
An Olympian?
Yeah, an Olympian athlete. Is that a profession?
An
or
Olympic
is it,
athlete?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how many Olympics they go to.
Because they train all year.
Well, yeah, they train all year, and you know they get paid.
And it's like a full-time job, and they have to have sponsors.
Yeah, so I guess you could call it a profession. I don't.
And that's
one profession. They take taxes out on that shit, though.
Well, that's I mean, that would be one profession that would be one that you would have to be like man or woman, because like I said, it's like you said in the state of Indiana, it's what's below the belt. That's how they men's sport, women's sport. And I don't think do they have any co-ed sports in the Olympics? I don't think they do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like what?
Last I knew, the shooting and archery were co-ed, but I could be wrong.
Is that a sport?
Yeah, it just never gets televised. It absolutely is. There is still a USA shooting team, Olympic shooting team. There's still an archery team.
I've never seen
them. But the goddamn media won't put it on.
I would love to watch those.
That's the only shit I care about, and they don't put it on there. So all I'm left watching is women's gymnastics, which ain't really too bad.
My daughter and I love like bow and arrow, and I love my guns, and you know I love that. So if they would televise that, I'd be glued to the TV.
If they ever televised it, it'd be on a...
Now, is that in Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
It's in Summer Olympics.
Okay.
I don't know if they do it during the winter or not. I honestly don't know. But they
because bow and arrow is hard.
Yeah, if it ever gets put on TV, it's going to be put on a funny time when like nobody'd be up to watch it.
Right.
You know, and it'd be once.
Yeah, and there'd be no replay.
No, and they wouldn't even talk about it. So.
Yeah, I would love for them to televise that. You know, that would be...
The best you can do is getting on YouTube and looking up...
Yeah. Let's see. What do I want to watch? Bow and arrow or basketball?
Right.
Bow and arrow.
Right.
Guns. All the guns. But that's me. I
the
Olympic
shooting team's spectacular. You got to get on YouTube to watch their videos from the Olympics.
Right. Well, I mean, I knew they had it, but it was like, you know, it's so not advertised that I like I said, I didn't even know whether it was Winter or Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, is it outside, inside? What is it? But if you're outside, I mean, it's hard. You've got to, you know,
every year
account for wind and humidity and.
Every year there's a presidential election. There's a Summer Olympics.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, there's the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, every 2 years. So, it's just strange. There's stuff I wish they would televise that they just don't.
Yeah.
That would be neat, though. Mm-hmm. They should have a big old thing on that. It's like, it can't be any, if someone says, oh, that might be boring. Really? Any more boring than watching golf? And people will sit and watch golf for freaking hours. They whack a ball as hard as they can. They're lucky to find the damn thing, and then they hit it again.
I can't watch sports. It's just, all of it's too damn boring to me. There's nothing exciting about it. Everybody's like, oh, watch football. I don't know. Football is just boring as shit to me, too.
I can't sit and watch a whole game. I can't sit and watch a whole game. Now, if I
go
to a game...
I used to play baseball, and it's too boring to watch.
If I go to a game, like if I'm actually there and watching, it's much better because you've got the crowd interaction. You get, because I'm an empath, so it's like I feel the excitement. I feel all of that. But just to sit and watch a lot on TV, like I said, every once in a while I'll sit and watch part of a football game, but I can't sit and watch a full one because it's just like, okay, it says they got 2 minutes left. That's going to be about an hour. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to throw these little yellow flags and they're going to blow 10 million whistles. I love football as a sport, but it doesn't mean I want to sit and watch it on television. I love to go to the games. I love to go, I'll go watch, our friend's son, when he plays football, I'll go watch him every game, or whatever. But I don't want to watch it on TV. Oh, it's so boring. I'll wait for halftime. I'll watch the halftime show.
Yeah.
When they televise it, like if it's, a good one.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, even college level, like the Rose Bowls and stuff, if they've got a nice halftime or whatever, I'll watch those. I was a band geek for many, many years, so if they've got, like, the good bands that play the halftime and all that, and they, big brassy instruments and all that, I'll watch. But it's like, I can't sit for... And maybe it's because I grew up being forced it when my dad, always watching the games, no matter who it was, whether it was college, whether it was professional, whatever, we're going to watch this, and it's all we watch all day. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's just, I can't. It's like a trigger. I'll instantly go into another room and turn the TV on. I can't do it. That's why as soon as I was old enough and I had my first job, I went and bought my own TV. Yeah. And at that time, like, there wasn't separate cable boxes. It was like whatever, unless you had different things, it was whatever the first person's watching, you watch. Well, I even had, as a 16-year-old, I went and bought a TV, and my sister loved it too. We shared a room. But I went and had Dad do it, and I paid for it. We actually had the extra line put on our account so that I could watch what I wanted in my room, and he could still watch what he wanted in the living room. And it wasn't a battle of flip the channels.
Right.
Nothing like watching a movie and all of a sudden Dad gets home from work and the channel flips.
Right.
And flips and flips and flips. And then get 10 minutes into another movie and it flips again. Oh my God. So before I was able to do the cable thing, I bought a VCR because back in the day we didn't have DVD or CDs and DVDs. It was VCR and cassette tape.
Nice.
Yeah. So did that, and then I had that, and then I come to find out that maybe that wasn't the best plan, because then I'd come home from work or school or something like that if Dad was already home or whatever. Mom be in the living room watching TV and all that. I go to my room. My daddy is laying on my bed with his feet kicked up, got 3 or 4 pillows up like he's king ding over there, watching my TV with basketball. Or got his, Tina Turner movies and Total Recall and Mad Max and shit in the VCR playing them. Like, that's my room. That's my TV. He's like, my damn house. Well, you win. You got me. You got me on the technicality, sir.
Well, it looks like we're coming up on a break.
Well, because he was like, yeah. I was like, well, it's my TV. He goes, yeah. Who pays the bill?
Right.
Who pays the electric bill? Because I paid half the cable bill. But I said, well, I pay half the cable bill. He's like, who pays the electric bill? God dang it, you always win. All right.
All right. We'll be back right after this.
Professions and things of the like. Like, we've kind of gone into military. We've gone into, we did not go into, what do they call them now? Flight attendants. They don't call them stewardesses anymore.
Stewardesses.
That lots of S's.
Stewardesses.
Well, right now my tongue's a little swollen, so I'm not going to try and say all the S's like that. But flight attendants.
Stewardesses. Yeah.
But flight attendants for years and years and years and years and years, it was women. So much so that when they first came out, and the flight attendant schools and all this, and airlines would have regular weigh-ins, and they would, basically have one size of uniform, and if you didn't fit the uniform, you didn't get the job. They literally would weigh them, and they would, this is the makeup you wear, this is the hairstyle you have to have a waist of this, hips of this, bust of this. Like, you had to fit these criteria physically as well as everything else.
I know some douchebags that do that for their wives.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So, it's, talk about just the women, and it was still, it was a women's profession, but it was still run by the men. If you have to be pretty, you have to be this size, you have to be, we're measuring you, we're weighing you, we're, all of that. Like, we're not out for Miss America. It's called handing out coffee on an airplane.
And hot towels. Don't forget the hot towels.
Only in first class.
It's bullshit.
Right?
I want a hot towel.
Right? I can't afford first class, but I could afford a hot towel, damn it.
Hot towel and some leg room. So I guess it's first class.
Yeah, first class all the way. You want leg room. Or else it's like tin cans, sardines. But, they would. And now they cannot call them stewardesses anymore. I got it right. Ha. They have to call them flight attendants because, because there are so many males now, men that do it. And of course, then the first big thing was, if you're a guy doing it, you're gay. No, maybe it's a guy that just likes to travel and doesn't have the money to pay for it.
Right.
I mean, you ain't got nothing else going on in your life. You want a job, you want to travel the world, you want to do this. Be a flight attendant. Yeah, you got to deal with some pain in the ass people. You got to deal with drama. And really, you're risking your life every single day because you're going up and your feet are not on the ground. But
it happens.
You're going to do that if you travel anyway. Mm-hmm. You're not walking. Mm-hmm. You're not driving across the ocean.
Right.
I mean, you could try, but you're only going to get about 2 feet before you just go glub glub. I mean, unless you got one of those little cars that floats, but I wouldn't. I might do that on a river, but I wouldn't depend on that in a friggin' ocean. You got fish out there bigger than your car.
Yeah.
Get eaten by a tuna. How embarrassing would that be? Wouldn't it be a shark or anything cool or a whale? No, I got ate by a tuna. A tuna fish.
Bumblebee tuna.
Right? Tuna. Apparently I was the sandwich. He got mad at being the sandwich. So, but yeah, I think that it's still very biased. I mean, still people will say stewardess, and it's flight attendants. But
hairdressers.
Huh?
Hairdressers.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. That I know you can carry the rest. I know you'll be able to carry the rest of the show on that one.
Well, I've noticed several things, and right now that it's my current profession, other than my side business, but there are a lot of them that I went to school with and work with and everything else that are men. And predominantly, I'm going to say that most of them were gay. There were several that weren't. They were the very manly men, and they just, a lot of them did it because in order to become, in the state of Indiana, in order to become a barber, you have to take the actual cosmetology, and then after that, you have to take barber classes. Just like I couldn't open up a barber shop because I don't have the extra classes, but I can open up a beauty salon. How silly is that?
What is the extra classes to open a barber shop than a beauty salon? Like what, shaving, facial
with shaving hair? And facial hair and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess
that's basically it. That's basically it. Because we use, and I guess more to do with like razors and hair razors and stuff, but we do that in beauty school as well. Cosmetologists. You do that. The biggest difference to me, I mean, I guess they show you like, whereas cosmetology you do in hairstyle, and they teach you a lot of women's hairstyles. Yes, you know the basics of the men's hairstyles. They teach, you have your clippers, you have shears, you have all of that. But when you get into the barber stuff, it's all about men's hair and men's facial hair and things like that. So that's, and it's not. I think it's probably wrong, but I'm thinking I want to say it's either 6 weeks or 6 months. I can't remember with the 6 in it. Mm-hmm. I can't see it being 6 months because it's like, it's not that much different. So, but you have to take those on top of it. And that makes the difference of whether you can own a barbershop or whether you own a beauty shop.
And see, there's not a barbershop in this town anymore either.
No.
There's a lot of old men that are looking for a barber that don't like going to Sport Clips or Great Clips or all that. Somebody open a barbershop in this town, they'll make some money.
Oh, I bet. Because that one that was there was always busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's getting to be more and more men, but the most of the men that you do see are gay or act it because they know they're going to make money.
Right.
And I have a couple of them that I know that are not, but they put on an act when they're doing hair, when they're doing nails, when they're doing whatever, because it sells.
Yeah.
It really, really does. Like, they've got a niche, and there it is. You know, because you're going to go and you're going to be like, oh, well, he knows how to do hair and nails then. You know, he's really good because it's a man in this profession and he's doing well. You know, but if you go to, you know, say a guy that's really butch and really, like, you're going to trust him to...
You go to talk to Ernest.
Yeah, you go over to Ernest.
You go to Ernest for a flat top cut. You don't
Right.
go to Ernest to have, like, a weave or something. But
you go to Thaddeus for that.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't go to Ernest. You know, you go to him for, I need my beard trimmed.
Right.
And I need, you know, not really like the crew cut or the fade. You know, I need the fade. That's about it.
Ernest don't do a fade. Ernest
He does with clippers.
No, Ernest does a flat top.
That's it.
Ernest does a flat top, and he'll take a little off the side of the... That's
Yeah.
it. That's all Ernest does.
Yeah,
You got two hairstyles with Ernest. You got bald or shaved, and you got flat top.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got a number 1 guard or a flat top.
Right.
That's it. He threw away the other guards. Forget it. A 1 or a 6, buddy. That's it.
That's it.
But, you know, they don't get as much business as the ones who are like, oh, hey, girl, what's up? How you? You know, and just going into all this flair, right? And I think that's what it is. They see the flair, and they're like, oh, well, and then you can put some flair on me. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they can, and sometimes it's like, I really hope that you're a friendly person. And I hope they come back because they like you as a person, not as a stylist.
Right.
Like, come back and just go talk to them, but don't give them money to touch your hair. Because they might have talked you into thinking it looks cute.
But you look like a dumpster fire, honey.
Wow. But, wow. Please allow me to fix it. Because I can't, I'm going to walk it like this with the shield over my eye so I can't see you out of my peripheral. So, yeah, I just like, no. Well, like I said, you know.
You gotta love those calls. You get like, Libby, can you fix that?
All the time. Especially the ones.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Especially the ones who are like, I tried to do this myself. Those are my favorite.
And
I tried to do this myself.
What'd
Can
we
you
learn?
fix it? There are times where I'm like, okay, and other times I'm like, no.
What'd you learn?
You got in a rush about it. I told you this was the day I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got in a rush. Didn't want to wait. Did it yourself. Used all these chemicals that I don't know. And then you want me to add other chemicals to your head.
So here's what's going to happen.
You could wind up bald. I'm not going to do it.
Let's see. No, here's what's going to happen.
You need to give your hair time to heal.
I'll do that, but you're going to pay me double, and I'm not guaranteeing the outcome because you messed with shit.
No, I won't do it because you, number one, especially if you've used a lightener, you've got to let your hair heal. You've got to before you do anything else. It's like, because I know, as soon as you're going into a color correction, there's going to be lightener used at some point because you've got to try and pull out all the pigment that they done put on their head.
Right.
Along with the orange brassy color that you get when you do it and you don't tone it, which is why if you don't 100% know what you're doing, please don't do it and then ask me to fix it. Please. Please don't do that. I mean, I'll do my best. But there are some that I'll look at it and go, I'm not touching that hair for so many weeks.
Yeah.
You gotta let it breathe, or you're gonna be bald, or it's gonna look like you've got straw on your head. And I can look at somebody walk down the street and go, they've overlightened, they've overbleached, because it looks like straw or like a Brillo pad. You know how they're really rough?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Only you've straightened it out. Like you've straightened out a Brillo pad, and it just looks rough and wiry, and if you look at it wrong, it'll break. Like, no, just stop, just don't, just. Or they put permanent color over permanent color over permanent color over permanent color, and then it's just like, we're done now. I have said good day, sir. And you can literally make it to where your hair won't grow back.
Yeah.
It'll stay thin, unhealthy, because it's like, no, you've done burnt my follicles. I don't want to do this anymore. But, yeah, there's lots of times. But, yeah, in the field, it's, there's getting to be a lot more men in it, but most of the men are not of the heterosexual inclination. I'm trying to be politically correct, and I don't want to say things that are going to offend people. I don't want to say things that
that's my
are going to make people mad. I'm trying to not trip over my own tongue here by saying the wrong word.
And that's another good point. Is
What's that?
Women are a lot less, confrontational than men. Generally,
I don't know.
Well, no, because here you're sitting here and you're saying, I don't want to offend anybody,
right?
And on any given day of the week,
that doesn't deal with whether you're a man or woman. That's called you're an asshole.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm married to an asshole. You're an asshole. Our friends are assholes. Like, that's the reason they're confrontational.
Woody's not an asshole.
He's an undercover asshole. He's just quiet about it.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. He is undercover.
Don't even say he's not. Love you, Woody. But man, you can be. Undercover, buddy.
Well,
but that's the way to do it. Like, keep it undercover. Like, be that quiet one. That way, when you do pop up...
Surprise!
Right? When you do pop up, you done flipped everybody out. We all stop and look like, what the hell just happened?
We'll be doing the Saturday show, and he'll pipe up with something that just absolutely devastates me. And I'm like, that was great. I didn't even see it coming.
But damn.
Jim can't breathe now.
Right? Out of left field. Yeah. And that's what I love. Like, because it's just, bam, out of left field. Done. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's... so much different personality in the beauty industry. So much personality. Clothing designers. Mm-hmm. Even though it's women's clothing, the majority of it is men. But the majority of those men want to be women.
I don't know. I don't understand the fashion industry because I see them walking down the runways with that stuff on occasion when I've seen them, and I'm like, who the hell thinks that shit looks good?
Who would wear that if you were not on the runway?
Right. I mean, who would wear that in general? I'm like, it looks uncomfortable as hell. That. What in the hell is that?
They're walking like Morticia Adams shuffling.
Bubble wrap? What the?
Yeah, the avant-garde and unconventional materials, or they got these shoes that you look at and you're like, how are you not crying from pain? And the fact that you're like tilted like this, like.
I know Paris has a real funky idea of what
Mulan,
fashion
yeah,
is.
and Paris.
I'm like, what is? All right, okay.
Like, what is on your head? Oh, that's your hair?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Like, that dude's got a fro hat. What's up?
Me as a stylist, I'm like looking at that hair, breaking it down like, okay, how'd they do that? I want to know now.
That has to be a whole nother set of hair that they've...
Because they got like a bird...
Bobby pinned into that.
Got like a bird on it and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at that. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. But I don't understand fashion. I guess I'm not supposed to. I'm a man. That's a woman's thing.
Right.
See?
Not really, though.
Yeah, well.
Not really. I mean, there's some men that I know fashion way better than me.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, you like Michael Kors and, all these, it's like, they're guys and they're the ones doing the fashion.
It's outside my wheelhouse.
All right. And it's called Project Runway for me,
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I don't watch it. I don't even really watch TV anymore.
I love to sew. I'm a seamstress, so
yeah.
I watch those shows. Because I use them to get ideas. I'm like, oh, you can, okay, that's how you do that. All right, I can do, let me try that. I want to try that. Especially my favorite is like the unconventional, challenges. Like, you're going to the candy shop and you're going to get all this stuff. Now make an outfit.
Right.
Okay, you grab Twizzlers, bubble gum, and jelly beans.
Right.
Let's make it work. And as Tim Gunn says, it's a make it work moment, people. Like, it's make it work. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how much hot glue do I get? If I get a boatload, I got you. Because some of it, they're like, he'll come and be like, it's looking rather arts and crafts, not fashion. I'm like, I'd be the poor fool with all the arts and crafts. Like, well, I was just going to do some origami. Never mind.
I'm going to diamond art kit her hair.
Right?
It's fine.
Yep. It's going to be glorious. She'll never be able to wash them all out.
Diamond
it's like
art
glitter.
Hair plugs for men.
I just dip somebody in glitter like that dang troll, that glitter troll.
Glitter.
I'm the glitter queen. It's everywhere. If you don't know me, I love me some glitter. It's awesome. The fellas at the office don't appreciate it as much as I do. They'll get used to it. They will.
I don't care about that.
Yes, you do.
Well, there's obviously a female around.
Yep. Especially, but just for that, I'm going to get out the multicolored glitter today. I don't have just one color. I've got one that's rainbow glitter.
Quiet, woman.
Oh, now it's double rainbow glitter.
Oh.
Apparently it sounds like there's some beard oil that needs some glitter.
What have you been doing? Have you been creating havoc?
Yep. yeah, that's what I do. So,
Wait a minute. How are you going to get into the beard oil? What do you mean beard oil needs glitter?
I'll find it.
You ain't never at the house.
There's someone that is.
She'll wake up bald.
I didn't say she.
He don't want to start that war with me.
You won't know if it was him or her or me.
There's some mutually assured destruction about to happen.
Yeah, because it'll happen. Rest assured, keep it up. It'll happen. You just won't know who, when. You'll know why.
Okay.
Just saying. Glitter happens.
Oh, you don't want to start this war. Don't start this.
I already won this war. Because look who's now not afraid of glitter. Did you just show my nipple?
Huh? What'd you say?
That's okay. I can come over to that mic. That's fine. All right, guys.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we're coming up to the end of the show, and my voice has had it for the night. We will do our best to be back live Wednesday night. If not, we will be here. Well, you know, we might have to pre-record depending on the schedules and stuff like that. But
we're back to Wednesdays.
Yes, we are back on Wednesdays, 7 to 9.
Whether or not we do a live show like we did tonight, or whether we're back to whether we go to pre-recording.
Right. So just depends.
Because I jumped the gun and you yelled at me, and you were right.
Oh my God! And we have it on air. It's recorded.
No, I have no problem admitting when I was wrong. If I was actually wrong, I have no problem admitting that.
Well, I
and I
appreciate
was
that.
wrong.
So we are back on. We're back on for Wednesday night, same bat time, same bat channel. The only difference, like we said, is if it's going to be live or if it's going to be pre-recorded. So we may wind up, letting you know, hey, tonight's a live show or hey, tonight's pre-recorded.
I'll post it on Facebook.
Right, it'll be
Whether
on our
we're live
Facebook
or-
page. Yeah,
live or whatever.
because I've got the granddaughter, and right now it's not always feasible to be, Wednesday night live with the teething, screaming 6-month-old. So.
This is true.
Yeah, she is all about grandma, and you're going to pay attention to me and not a damn thing else, or I'm going to let you know about it.
Right.
So, when she's a little older, she'll just be, an on-air personality. It's fine.
Yeah.
So.
When she's old enough to form words and stuff.
Right.
Just,
Right now, it's just like, She loves to scream, and we do a pterodactyl. Mm-hmm. She loves to be a pterodactyl. So, stuff like that. But
yeah, we've had shows that she's been, slept through, but then we had a couple we were...
struggling
So
a little bit. So, all right. Well, we'll post on the Facebook page here in a day or so what our topic's going to be. I'm going to do my best to figure that out a couple days after the show. That way, we've got plenty of advance. And if you have questions, if you have suggestions, anything like that, you can absolutely hit us up with that in one form or another of our communications. But until then, guys, have a great week. I love that it's getting closer to Christmas. I'm about ready to bling this station out. So maybe by next week we can tell you about the gloriousness and put pictures on Facebook.
Right.
So have a great week, guys, and we will holler at you next week.
Good night.